What is up, ELiens? It's Simply Elle, and I'm back again with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this look, and I'm going to be talking about the Love is Blind couples. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and ranking them between 0 and 5. Before making this video, I had made a separate ranking after watching the week 1 videos, episodes 1 through 6. Made up a ranking in my head thinking I was going to record, but I never recorded until week 2 episodes came out, 7 through 9. As you guys know, people's real colors start to show outside the pods, and you know, social media does its thing and people get exposed, so my ratings changed and I like to share that updated rating with you guys. Before we move on, this video is brought to you by Irresistible Me. Irresistible Me is a hair brand that offers hair extensions, clip-ins, wigs, and ponytails. They also offer vegan fiber wigs. That was very interesting to me when I looked through their website. They were able to send me a set of hair extensions and I'm wearing it right now. I actually really love the way it makes my hair look. I wish it could blend better with my hair, but I think that that's my fault. So you can kind of see like it's kind of two different textures, but it still works like in person. I really like how it turned out. I'm gonna put a video of me installing it right here so you guys can see it. It'll also be uploaded to YouTube Shorts. I chose the red color because my natural hair is dyed to this like brown red-ish color, so that was the color that looked most similar to my hair, but it still kind of like showed that, you know, that there's a difference. But I still really like how it kind of looks like an ombre type of thing. My hair definitely got darker and I would have done better choosing the black. It would blend better, but I don't regret this. This is my first time wearing clip-in extensions, so I'm really thankful to Irresistible Me for sending me these extensions. I'm actually excited to buy more, but just in a different color. I would also love it if they had a like a yaki straight or like a blowout texture. That would really work well for the girlies with my hair texture. If you guys are interested in trying out Irresistible Me for yourselves, if you want to get clip-ins, if you want to get wigs, if you want to get ponytails, then I will leave my affiliate link in the description box below so you guys can get a 10% off discount. You could also get this discount by using my code IMSimplyEL. I'll put it right here for you to see. And this discount works on top of the sale that they're currently having on their website. Thanks again to Irresistible Me for letting me try this out, and thank you to you guys for checking out Irresistible Me. Now let's get into this Love is Blind fiasco. Alright guys, let's get into the makeup and talking about the Love is Blind couples. So my skincare is already done. Barring the little pimple patch, forget that even exists. So the couple with the highest ranking is Taylor and Garrett. I feel like they communicate really well. They were more of a slow burn in the beginning, but now they're my favorite couple of the season. Like I said, they communicate so well and I like listening to their banter both in the pods and out of the pods. I rated them a 4.8 simply because I want to see how they handle the situation with their parents, because Garrett's parents, especially his mom, is having like reservations since Garrett is choosing to move, I think it's San Francisco with Taylor. His mom isn't really liking that. And Taylor's parents, I don't think they're comfortable with the show at all. One of her parents doesn't want to be on camera, so they have to kind of like tackle that. And in the previews, I don't see Taylor's mom feeling it. So I'm interested to see how they're going to navigate that. Barring that, I think they're probably going to get married at the end of this show. I think they're going to get married and they're likely going to stay married. Next couple is Hannah and Nick. I genuinely did not like these two in the pods. I did not like them at all. Like, bruh. I feel like neither of them should be on the show, given that Hannah is 26 and Nick is 28. I think they're both the youngest. If you're less than 30, I don't think you should be on the show. I believe when she first broke up with Nick, she should have gone home. I don't think she should have gone with Leo, or because definitely don't go with Leo. But I think she should have gone home, because at that point there wasn't really anyone for her, for real, in my opinion. She broke up with Nick because she felt like she couldn't trust him. Something felt wrong in her mind. She felt as though he might not like what he sees when they meet. But she does a 180 when she heard that her second connection, which is Leo, was also connecting with Brittney, because Brittney accidentally let it slip that she and Leo were hitting it off. So Hannah was like, oh, what if I made a mistake breaking up with Nick? I might just not end up with anybody. So she decides to stay in the experiment and choose Nick. I also feel like Nick focused a lot on looks, even though he kept telling Hannah, like, I don't care what you look like. He would say things like, oh, I can't wait to see you in bikini, you know, talk about having bedroom fun all the time. And she said that made her feel insecure. Although I think Hannah is already insecure, because she does share with us and Nick that she lost 45 pounds, I think, before coming on this show. He compared himself to Travis Kelce. He said he was a less buff version of Travis Kelce. And I was like, dude, stop doing this. Don't do this. Remember Megan Fox from last season. Don't do that, because you're giving the other person an idea of what you look like, and this is not the show for that. Hannah was also kind of selling herself a little bit, in my opinion, because she kept saying like, oh, I used to be a cheerleader. I always got the football player, the quarterback. So they were both kind of like hinting at looks. I didn't like that they did that, but it seemed like towards the end of everything, Nick kind of like locked in with Hannah, and she was his only one, while Hannah was in between him and Leo, the rich art dealer. Oh my god. So after they get engaged in the pods, they get the reveal, right? And Hannah does not like what she sees. She said he gave her some different expectations based on what he was saying in the pods. She's expected him to look bigger, and I believe Hannah has a thing where she doesn't want to feel big next to the guy that she's with. She doesn't want to look bigger, whether it's like her weight or her height. She doesn't want that. She wants the guy to be much bigger than her. But Nick is only like a little bit bigger than her. He's a little bit taller than her. When she's wearing heels, they're, I think, almost the same height. And she doesn't like that. For me, like, I understand it, but it's easier for me, somebody that's 5'2", to say, oh, I want a tall guy. I don't believe it's that hard to find a guy that's taller than 5'2". So I've never really dated anybody that I'm looking at in my eyes, because like, at that point, oh my gosh, I'm 5'2", so I feel like I can say that. But Hannah is much taller. Like, I think she's 5'11". No, Nick is 5'11". Hannah is a couple inches shorter than that, and she doesn't like it. Nick didn't seem to have an issue with what she looked like. He seemed to like her a lot. Okay, so she was disappointed in how he looked, and she's not letting it go. Like, she keeps talking about it. Every chance she gets to make a joke about how tall she is, or how they're the same height, or how like he's smaller than she expected, she will always do it. And I'm like, girl, let it go. It's over. You've chosen him. I noticed that Nick is very playful. He's kind of goofy. He's funny sometimes, and he's a bit pampered, and his mom literally admits to pampering all her kids. So now whoever marries Nick is gonna have a really fun time if Nick doesn't kind of like grow up. I feel like Hannah, every time she makes those jokes, she's just like projecting her insecurities onto him. She's like, oh, you know, guys usually feel insecure when they're shorter than their women and blah blah blah. And I'm like, girl, he hasn't said any of that to you. If he said that, I would say okay, but he hasn't given you no reason to feel that the way you look is a problem. Some notable moments I want to discuss from their scenes, the duck situation. I don't think that Nick wanting to ride the duck was bad or wrong. Like, if Hannah didn't want to ride the ducks with you, although I feel like she should have, but that's not for me to decide. She didn't want to ride the duck, she didn't want to ride the duck. But she shouldn't stop him from riding the duck by saying it's gonna give her the ick. Like, girl, what? The issue and where I felt like Nick was wrong was after that old lady, that 60-year-old woman called her jealous and he laughed at it. I think that was wrong. He should have said something to that lady that said, you're his fiance, that's your fiance, calling her jealous, and you're just laughing and like kikiing with another woman in front of your fiance. That's not nice. That's where I feel like she was wrong. I don't think he was wrong for wanting to ride the duck, but he was wrong for letting that woman talk to her like that. Next thing, her 10 things I hate about you list. I didn't like that she did that. She's writing a list about all the stuff that she dislikes dislikes about him without talking to him about it. Girl, what? It wasn't that this list was on her phone, in a diary, in a private journal, because then it wouldn't be a big deal. But she left this list out. It was out on the nightstand, I think, and he found it. One of the things that she listed was the Lulu. Like, oh, is he mature? Is he kiniko? Whatever. I didn't understand why she would do this, leave it out, and not talk to him about it. That's also immature of you, babes. Because you should have talked to him. Even Nick was like, were you being jealous of that old lady? She didn't say anything. In this moment, she could have said, I wasn't being jealous, but I didn't appreciate that woman called me jealous and you laughed with her. That's all. Simple. Because, girl, that also would show us your own maturity. Because you keep saying this man is immature, but like, Yunko, what does this say about your maturity? When Hannah's brother came to visit them for dinner, the brother literally calls Nick a bitch boy, or yeah, bitch boy. I was like, and Nick also laughed at it. But then later on in the episode, he kind of like gets one back at her because she talks about how he left laundry for her to fold while after, like, when he went to work. And he was like, yeah, I mean, you're unemployed. He wouldn't think it's a problem to fold the laundry since you have nothing to do. You're unemployed. And then after he said that, she kind of wanted to get upset. And I'm like, girl, if you can dish it, you have to be able to take it. I don't talk to people like that because I don't want them to talk like that about me. You're always making jokes at his expense all the time. Denigrating jokes. It's not funny. Sometimes it's not funny. So she excuses herself after that. Nick and her brother starts talking about how she insults people as a joke and she doesn't expect them to give it back to her. And I'm just like, damn, your own brother is talking about you like this. And it's not just the brother, even her family members kind of like, they seem sick of her. Based on what I saw, her mom is telling her to like calm down, relax. But then I also have a little bit of critique for the parents. She said she had to grow up really fast. I think they probably like were hard on her. Her mom used to lock the cabinet so she doesn't get snacks and eat. She's really like hyper independent and expects Nick to have been conditioned the same as her when Nick was pampered. I don't think Nick ever went to buy groceries before. He couldn't even cook spaghetti. He was looking in the fridge for spaghetti. Hannah's parents were probably hard on her while Nick's parents kind of doted on him, did everything for him. He still lives at their house, which there's nothing wrong with, but it does show that he's not expected to be as independent as Hannah probably was. It looks like she's probably like a first daughter, but I don't know. I can't really say. I'm not sure. And last thing I want to mention about them, the trash thing. I think Hannah can't be saying, oh, you only take the trash out whenever I tell you to take the trash out. Yes, Nick should remember to take the trash out if he agreed to being the person that takes out the trash. But I feel like Hannah should establish a time that the trash gets taken out, or they should both agree on a time that the trash gets taken out. If she's like, I want the trash taken out by 9 p.m. I want the trash taken out by 5. And then he doesn't do it. Instead of taking the trash out at 5, he takes it out at 10. Then she has a good cause to be saying, you only take the trash out when I remind you. Shasha, let me wrap it up with Hannah and Nick. I don't think either of them should be married. Definitely not to each other, and not right now. But in my mind, I just feel like they're gonna be together. So you know my life. Marissa and Ramses. And I rated them a 3.6. I don't think they should have gone together in the pods. I felt like she was a better match with Bowden, who was her other connection. They were in kind of like a love triangle. They would have made a better match than Ramses. And I'll let you guys know why as I progress through talking about them. She picks Ramses because he's a Cancer Leo. Can someone please tell me what that means? Her deciding factor was that this man, Ramses, was a Cancer Leo. So please, in the comments, my astrology girlies and guys out there, if you can please break down to me why Cancer Leo is good for Marissa. I don't remember what her sign is, but I know for a fact I will never forget Cancer Leo because she made it like, oh my god, you're the one, I know it. And she breaks up with Bowden like the next date. Shasha, the issues right now that gives them a low rating for me is that they believe in different things fundamentally. That's my biggest thing in relationships. If you have foundational differences, I feel like y'all might just not belong together. Melissa's military past that does not seem to really rate like that. He's not gushing over the fact that she used to be in the Navy. He's not saying, you know, like, thank you for your service, respect to the troops, kinikon. He doesn't believe in the military. He believes that they do terrible things. And I can't say that I disagree with him. However, Marissa is allowed to be proud of her service. But Leo is just Leo. Ramses is like, yeah, if you were still in the military, we probably wouldn't be dating. And for Marissa, I believe like she's traumatized from the military, which is why she didn't pick Bowden, but I felt like she still should have picked Bowden. The military has shown her shaggy, so she doesn't plan to ever go back, and she keeps asking if he would still be with her if she decides to enlist again or to be on reserve and all that. And he's like, no, that's a deal breaker for me. Basically, he wouldn't date someone in the military. He wouldn't marry someone in the military. He won't marry someone on reserve. It's a no for Ramses if you've been in the military. And Marissa has stated that she does not intend to ever go back to the military, so I really don't know why this is still a conversation. Why do you want to know about something that isn't gonna ever happen? Why are you asking what ifs about things that aren't real? You're never going back to the military by your own assertion. You don't want to ever go back. You can never go back. You can never go back. So why do you keep talking about how Ramses does not like the military? When they met up with Marissa's friends, she brought this thing up. He would divorce her if she decides to go back into the military. And I agree with Ramses on this morally. Like, I also wouldn't date anyone that is in the military actively or on reserve or anything like that. It's not for me. I'm not going to speak further on that. So like I said, I agree with Ramses and he's not budging. This should kind of like foreshadow how uncompromising he can be when it's something that is set in stone, which is why I said foundationally, if you don't agree on something, you probably should get ready to end the relationship. For example, a person that wants kids should not date somebody that never doesn't want kids. Likely people don't change their minds, or if they do, they resent you, and it's the beginning of the end of your relationship. In the pods, she said that she dated a Trump supporter for 3 years, so she clearly doesn't believe politics has anything to do with the kind of person you are, and Ramses clearly does. So that's another way that they're just incompatible to me. The next issue they will face is Melissa's mother. Melissa's mother is rude. It's so nasty and so rude. Like, you're meeting someone for the first time, the first thing you tell them is, I don't like your outfit, I don't like your style. I'm like, honestly, as an in-law, none of that should be important to you as somebody that's not actively dating the person, because somebody's style has nothing to do with how they're going to treat your child, right? So ma'am, let's forget about that. And then she's like, you guys have to get a prenup because I don't want you to rely on my daughter's money that she has not made yet, because she's gonna be a lawyer. She's in law school right now. She's just clerking, and this woman is telling somebody that has a job simply because we learned that Ramses dropped out because his dad died. That really stopped him from completing his degree. I guess this is why she's like, oh, you're not gonna rely on my daughter's money, right? And I'm just like, lady, many people do not go to school and they're doing very well. Not saying that you shouldn't go to school. School is important, but for you to not instantly say, oh, he's with my daughter for her future money from being a lawyer. Where is this brush? Ugh, I don't have time for this. Marissa's like, no, we'll get a prenup if I want a prenup, and I don't think Marissa wants a prenup. So the mother is like, I'm not gonna give you guys my blessing if you don't get a prenup. I'm like, what is with you? And calls her own daughter a bitch. What? Yeah, no. And then the contraceptive discussion. Ramses doesn't want to wear a condom because the sex has to feel good, babe. Marissa doesn't want to get on birth control because of the side effects that it does to her. They've been having raw sex. Ramses doesn't want to wear a condom. She asks if they can just have condom sex, and Ramses is like, I don't like how it feels, so I don't know if I can do that. I'm like, really? She is open to having kids. She tells him to his face that she does not mind if they get pregnant. He doesn't want kids. So while I do think Marissa should stop having sex with him unprotected until they reach a decision, I think Ramses needs to get real. You don't want a kid is not contraceptive measures. Just saying that. You know you don't want a kid. So now it's up to you to make sure you don't have a kid. And it's not by hoping your partner is going to be on birth control. You also have to do something. You're the one who doesn't want kids. The ball is in your court. Stop going in raw and expecting different outcomes. Are you insane? Shasha, that's it for them. I do not think that they should be getting married, but I feel like they might. I'm kind of hoping they don't, honestly. Next on the list is Tim and Alex. So I'm just gonna try and hurry these up. I really never cared for this couple. Every time they were bonding, crying, all of that was based on trauma. Every time, crying. I was just like, bro, I didn't come here for this. It didn't grab me, honestly. Alex is very pretty, but I will have to ask you, girl, why would you let them come into your house with cameras when it looks like that? I'm not the cleanest person ever. I don't clean my house every day, but I still clean my house. And if my house wasn't clean and I know that people were coming over, I would do something about it. If it was a TV show coming to film my house, I would definitely make sure it's as pristine as possible. But I like that Tim was really nice about it. He didn't make her feel like crappy about it, which is really nice. He has some good moments. Speaking of Tim, he does really good with Alex's family. The way he won Alex's father over was almost an art form. It could be studied. He cooked for them and he wrote the dad a letter asking for his daughter's hand in marriage. And that was really sweet. It was really nice to watch. It was one of the good moments of this show for me. But I still kind of don't like them as a couple. So the red flags and the reasons why they have a 3.0 rating for me. Tim, for me, his red flag is that he does things that his partner hates. In the pods, he was wearing this yellow shirt. And the backstory of the shirt was that he bought it because the person he was with at the time didn't like it. For me, that's really triggering and it's a big no-no. It's a big red flag. When your partner specifically does something that you've told them not to do or that you hate and they do it knowingly because you hate it, guy, let's be guided. I don't like people who do that. And then we see with Alex that she doesn't like when he makes a reference to this dog thing. That's that dog in me. It's that dog. I'm a dog. Dog this, dog that. Roof. What's going on? What is this dog thing? And she really doesn't like it. She says, I hate it when you say that. And he's like, I love that you hate it. That's not okay for me. This is somebody that would know you hate something and do it and then hope that you think it's funny because they think it's funny. That would have turned me off if I heard that. And I noticed that he's always irritating her. And every time she gets irritated, it's like he's getting more energy to continue irritating her. And I wish we had seen the argument that they had in Mexico. Prior to this, it seemed like Alex is somebody that likes to push people's buttons too, because she has like anger issues or something. I think that's what she said. I'm so sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. From what I gathered in that thing, Tim struggles to kind of listen, kind of like imposes himself in a situation, whereas Alex also pushes his buttons because we know that she put his hand over his mouth. Why would you ever need to do that to somebody that you really just met 12 days ago? So yeah, I didn't like either of them in that situation because I'm like, what did you guys like? What did you do? And I want to know what she did to make him want to leave. He said he felt like he was gonna leave the next day. My main point is that I don't think they should get married, and I don't think that they will get married. Based on like the previews and what I've just shared, I don't think they are compatible. We're now moving on to Tyler and Ashley, who I rated at 2.5. Tyler and Ashley were my top couple until, we discovered that Tyler is a liar. Ashley, you are beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. I have no notes. None whatsoever. However, Tyler, like I said, he's a liar. Let me just read off my notes real quick. He waited until they were 2 weeks away from getting married to now tell Ashley that he has 3 kids, 3 sperm donor kids. Something he never mentioned in the pods. We didn't know until the streets, the investigators of social media, found out. This man basically ghosted his kids before going on the show. Before he went on the show, he took all the photos that he had with those children off of social media to make it look like he didn't really know them like that, because he's going to tell Ashley on the show that he's not active in their lives. They don't even know what he looks like. Guy, there's photos with you and these kids. They have your last name. You owe $30,000 in child support for them. So he's still lying to her. When he brings it up on the show, he's still lying to her, saying he's not in their lives. And it's just a favor he did for a friend. He just donated sperm. I really hope that they don't get married, but I heard that they did. They spent a lot of their screen time talking about how many kids they want to have. This man said he wanted 7 kids, knowing he has already started. Why didn't you not use that opportunity to say, oh, by the way, I have 3 kids? I think it's because he didn't want it to come out, but it was inevitable. Because it was like, when this becomes public, people are going to come out of the woodworks and say XYZ. That's messed up. We'll see how this unfolds. Next, Leo and Brittney. I didn't know whether or not to include them, but I think we need like some comedic relief because, you know, Leo inherited a lot of money and then a family art business after his grandma, grandpa, mother, and father all died of cancer. Now he's happened upon an inheritance and a very successful art dealing business that his family has left him from dying from cancer. I'm wondering, like, when is your cancer showing up? Because this seems like it's a hereditary something. Are you not afraid that one day you get cancer and why? Maybe Brittney heard this and heard how much money he had, and he was like, this might be a good idea, because very soon he might have cancer and die, and then she will have all his money. Maybe that's another reason Brittney was so in love with him at first. Speaking of Brittney, she is interested in being a trophy wife and is very honest about it. She's telling you, I don't want to do anything. She's also an esthetician, so, you know, her job is very, like, you know, soft girl type of job. Once she felt that Leo was very indecisive, she started to lose the interest that she had. But she still went with him and accepted his proposal because I think her eyes was dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. I think she was just thinking about the money because at that point, he didn't choose her. He was all about Hannah. Also, let's not forget, Leo has a lot of money. Leo is a successful art dealer. He's also saying that he doesn't want women to date him for his money. Women only want me for my money. They only want me for my money. But sir, you don't have a personality outside your money. That's literally all you ever talk about. So this situation is kind of like a type of situation. Because Brittney is looking for the money. And Leo is going to tell you he got the money. But he doesn't want you to be with him for his money. Really? Such a revelation. So yeah, I think that's dumb. Leo, if you don't want people to date you for your money or women to date you for your money, then you need to develop a personality that does not include your money. Okay? It's gonna show that you have money. So you don't have to keep reminding us that you have money. Because then you might stand a chance of attracting the kinds of girls that you want. You are literally attracting the kind of women that you don't want when you're busy broadcasting, oh my god, I'm so fortunate. I have so much money. I'm such a successful art dealer. I don't really want for anything. During their reveal, he was extremely creepy and she was just not feeling it. She was just like, oh, what did I get myself into? They decide that if they don't get picked to go to Mexico, which is the honeymoon stage, then they should go to Miami. They end up going to Miami and broke up afterwards, which... yeah, because I don't think Leo is attractive enough for you to just be with him for his money. By attractive, I mean personality, like who he is. He literally is boring, but he's rich. So I guess, I don't know. Finally, Monica and Steven. I did not like them in the pods, and they were no better after. Huge, like, what the heck moment with the both of them was when Steven called Monica a mutt. If somebody called me a mutt before I watched this show, I don't really think I would have taken it as a compliment. It didn't seem like a good thing. So I went to Google, you know, a very handy dandy BFF, the Googster, to be like, what the hell is a mutt? I saw the definition. I'll put it up on the screen if I remember. I saw the definition and I'm like, just... I'm seeing mongrel, somebody who is perceived as stupid, an imbecile. Being called a mutt is not a good thing. But do you know what Monica does? She says, yeah, I am an effing mutt. So I said, oh, okay, girl, then my bad. Because I like room. So what's my business? I will not drink Panadol for another person's headache. No. Shaky baby, idiot. Shaky baby, mongrel. Shaky baby. That's what it gave in that moment. Because she was just like, yeah, I'm a mutt, proud. Ridiculous. That raised my eyebrows. Steven inevitably cheats on Monica. And honestly, babes, there were signs. Because in the pods, he told Monica he cheated. And this woman was sympathetic to him. I said, oh, girl, that's not, no. She's like, yeah, I'm sure you're beating yourself up. I know that must suck for you. Another red flag was the fact that he did not tell us how it affected his partner. Instead of her to like call that out in the moment, saying like, you know, that's not acceptable for me because it isn't acceptable, she makes him feel better about feeling bad that he cheated. Like, girl, that is not the next step. The next step is to ask questions, make sure he's grown from it. What did he learn from that? Why did he do it? And not because he thought he didn't deserve her, because that's a stupid ass reason. And make it known that if this is something you do in the relationship, we are over. You make that perfectly clear to him. him. You reiterated that it's not acceptable, so there's no confusion. I got mascara on both my under eye, so I'm gonna just smudge it out and make it part of my makeup. He's always talking about sex all the time. When we're having serious conversation, this man finds a way to bring it to sex. That is another red flag. And his words didn't match his actions. The flower situation, it wasn't just about the flowers. It's not about her just wanting flowers. It's about doing what you said you were gonna do. In the pod, he said that in the real world, he's gonna get her flowers and whatnot. And then he wasn't doing it. I think Monica was trying really hard because she feels pressured to get married at her age. And it's like, girl, it's not gonna happen by force. Let me just tell you that right now. It's not gonna be because you endured rubbish. And I'm glad she told him immediately to leave, that the relationship was over as soon as she found out he was cheating. Talking about I went to a sleep study and I was drunk. You were drunk at a sleep study? How are you drunk at a sleep test and then you started texting a girl? Like, how does that make sense to you? What kind of lie is that? If you're gonna even lie, at least put some efforts into the lie. But yeah, so we know that these two are not going to be making it to the altar. I'm not surprised. Every chance he got, he was always talking about how a girl is trying to suck his and you know, there's home wreckers out there, you know, they'll be tempting you. Temptation galore. But like, my guy, you can avoid temptation too, you know. Avoid temptation. Yeah, like I said, I think Monica is really desperate and she really wants to be married. She wants it to work, so she was like overlooking anything. The man lost his job and she was like, oh, I'll be your sugar mama. Don't say these things as a woman to a man. If you are someone's wife, you guys have been married for however long, but that's your husband, there you have both committed to each other. There's nothing wrong with pulling the slack when when your husband in particular, in this case, loses their source of income and you're also working. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't make him feel like you are going to sugar mama him, because some people are looking for sugar mama. Immediately you left the pods, boom, Ishebo, how? I'm not saying you can't lose your job, but like, still. Anywho, that's it for Monica and Steven. We know for a fact they're not making it to the altar because, yeah. And best wishes to Monica and Steven. Please go get help. You're, I think, a sex addict. Yeah, and don't date anyone until you are cured of your situation. Thank you. The video has now come to an end. I'm gonna do my lips and I'll come back to wrap up my thoughts. Alright guys, I'm back and this is my final look. I really hate that this thing is not straight. Why is it like this? This nude is like my perfect nude. It's Sorta Selfish from Fenty Beauty, the Gloss Bomb Sticks. I'm gonna top this off with a little bit of Patrick Starr's Until Dawn. Now onto my final thoughts. I really wish Taylor and Garrett all the best of luck, but everybody else, I leave you people to God. I leave you all to God. So I think the wedding episodes or the decision/wedding episodes are going to be coming out next Wednesday, and the Wednesday after that will be the reunion, I'm assuming. So I'm going to try and react to that because I don't want to do another talk through video like this one. I don't want to do that. I want to just react to the episodes as they're happening. So I think those are going to be the next Love is Blind videos. Excuse me. So you guys stay tuned for that. Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about each and every couple, my rankings. If you have anything to add, because I did not mention everything about each couple. So if you have something to add that I didn't touch on, or you just want to also add on to what I've said, then feel free to do so in the comment section below. I love reading your comments. Like the video if you like the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you do not miss an episode. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
No, you know.